pulling weeds out of my garden when a worm crawled up and said, I beg your pardon. You see that robin up there in that tree? Well, he's a hungry and he got his eye on me. And I was wondering, you got a place I can hide and maybe bum a ride to the next town and break a new ground without worrying about it being swallowed down. I said, well, sure enough, you climb into this cup while I put the lid on and cover you up, or while I find my pole and you and I'll go to my favorite fishing hole. A mosquito landed on the side of my brain and said, don't worry, this won't cause you no pain. My name is Skeeter and I needed some blood. I thought I'd poke around and just to fill up my jug. I said, well, help yourself, Skeeter. I get more than you need to hear. Oh, wait a minute. And I'll roll it up my sleeve. So he laid on my ear and chucked a lug of beer while I exposed my major artery. Then he poked in deep up to the end of his nose. And when he's all filled up and fixing to go, well, I slapped him on the back. He said, splat. That was the end of that. I saw a ducker walking on my front lawn. I said, hey, Mr. Quacker, what's that going on? He said, well, I've been here just hanging around, and now I'm so fat I can't get my feet up off the ground. And I was wondering, you got a place I can roost, and maybe in the morning you could give me a boost and get me on my way. Nothing would be finer than to be in Carolina in a couple of days. Hey, come on in and get those wet feathers off while I heat up the oven and I grease up the pot. You're in luck, I'm gonna cook roast duck, and I think you're here to stay. Ha ha, lucky duck you. I was sitting on my porch with a beer in my hand when a mouse drove up in a big old van. I'm the cheese inspector, he said. With a grin he flashed me a badge as he walked on into my kitchen. Hey, if you ain't got a permit and I find cheese, I'll have to confiscate it. Hey man, I got no problem with that. I got a permit for the cheese I got in my mouse trap. Oh well, he looked around from room to room, but when he found what was sleeping behind my broom, he screamed, I grinned. Uncle Tom had him, he's Tomcat Din Din. Yeah. Meow. I was getting all dressed up to go to the dance when I found out I had ants in my pants. It says, hey guys, you down there, well you can't dance in my underwear. But they kept on clogging to a Cajun beat, clapping their hands and stomping their feet. One had a guitar, another a fiddle, one had a coddy and a strapper to his middle. Oh well, they clogged in a row. I towed my jeans, I did a do-si-do to the washing machine. I hit spin, I tossed them in, and then I dressed and went to the cabin. Yeah. Oh, well, a squirrel climbed up into my nut tree and started throwing my nuts at me. I said, hey, Mr. Man, are you gone nuts? There's enough nuts for the two of us. Well, he flickered his tail, let another sail, I ran for cover. He threw another, so I grabbed my 410 and threw a blast at him, and nuts went flying, but I missed him. So I got my chainsaw all fired up. I sawed that tree down, then sawed it up. The squirrel in my nut tree throwing my nuts at me drove me nuts. Oh, God. Going nuts.